Hi everyone, happy Wednesday. I hope you've had a good week so far. I know I have. So following on our little session from Sunday about Joshua crossing the River Jordan, if you didn't get to watch that video, that's fine, don't worry about it. You will still be able to do this activity. But for those who haven't watched it and for those who have, to refresh your memory a bit, maybe you would like to read Joshua 3 and 4. It is quite long. That's why I'm not going to do it on the video. But if you want to do it with your family or get an adult to read it for you, or you read it to your adults, that's great. But what that was about was that when things seemed impossible, God made a way. And we need to have that in our lives. When things don't seem like it can be possible, we need to have the faith that anything is possible for God. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of a rock hunt. There's different rock shapes and sizes that I'm going to tell you about. And then there's a prayer that goes with it. Don't worry if you don't hear them all now, because at the end of the video, I'll put up a little picture, and then you can pause it and you can see which ones you need to find. This could be either around your garden if you're lucky enough to have a garden, or on a daily walk, or at school. Make sure you don't get into trouble for taking rocks where you shouldn't be. You can take it and look at it and pray it and then put it back. It's up to you. So the rocks that we're going to find we're going to find six different shapes and sizes. So the first rock we're going to find doesn't need to be massive rocks, can just be little rocks. So the first one is the roundest rock, and that prayer is going to be about all the people around the world. So again, at the end of this video, there'll be a prayer that you can read or you can make up your own about all the people around the world. Then the biggest rock, obviously not huge that you're going to hurt yourself, but the biggest rock that you can find. And that's going to be a prayer about all the leaders in our government that are making really difficult choices at this moment. And then the smallest rock that you can find, and that prayer is going to be about all the children who unfortunately can't go to school at the moment for whatever reason. Might be that their little bubble at school's been closed, or whatever reason they can't go to school. We're going to pray for them that they can still learn and they can still be happy at home. Then the next rock we're going to find is the plainest rock. And that prayer is going to be for all the people that are going unnoticed at the moment, like essential workers that are working in the supermarkets, and all those people that are working really hard to keep the country going, but that are going unnoticed. So that's going to be a prayer for them. Then the most multicolored rock that you can find, that's going to be for to thank God for all the beautiful rainbows that we have seen in people's windows. Maybe you've made one for your window. And that's just to thank God that those rainbows have really made the streets colourful. And also to let us think about the people who live in our street, who may be lonely, and that they don't feel lonely, and that they can still feel the love around them during this really, really strange time, really strange and hard time. And then the last rock you're going to find for this bit is the most square rock you can find. That's quite difficult because I've never really seen a square rock, but it doesn't have to be exactly square. It can be like square-ish, okay? And that's going to be for all the key workers that are working in, there's going to be a prayer for all the key workers working in the hospitals and in the shops, that they can stay safe and that their family is safe. So at the end, again, that will be the list. If you never heard me or never got all of them down, that's fine. There'll be a list and the prayer that goes with them. And then there's a little verse that you can remember. Also on the picture, you can say it over again and remember it. Then the last activity that you're going to do, there is another activity about playing Riverbank if you want to play that with your family, where you make a line somewhere, or you've got a line in your house and you play the one side is river and the one side is bank. There is the instructions on that picture if you want to do that too. Now the other activity we're going to do is collecting a pile of rocks. So just like the Israelites, they collected rocks for everything, every special thing or everything that God did in their life. So all the good memories that God did in their life, they collected rocks. So what you're going to do is you're going to start collecting little rocks. And on the rocks, just have a little pile somewhere, maybe in a bowl, on a bucket somewhere. Please speak to your parents or your adults. Make sure you're allowed to do this. Don't want you to get into trouble. But you're going to collect little rocks. Give them a nice clean. Make sure they're nice and washed. And then give them a nice dry. Don't paint on them just yet until they dry, because the paint will just smudge. And what you're going to do is each time something good happens to your family or a good memory is made with your family, it might be that you go somewhere, it might be good news, it might be you had a really good dinner with your family, or you prayed, or you had a really good church service with your family. There's loads of different examples you can use that what you have a good time with your family for. And on the rock, you're going to decorate the one side using paint or felt tip or whatever you've got. Decorate the one side, and then on the other side, write the date and write the memory that you've got. And then put that aside and keep that safe. And then each time a good memory happens, you do the same thing with the rock. Write the date, write the memory, and decorate it and put them somewhere safe. And then when your family and you are feeling a bit down and finding things really difficult and struggling a little bit, you can go back to those memory rocks and pick one up, have a read of it, and remember what good work God did for you that day. Because that's all God's work that's happening in your life. Like all the happy memories, all the good things that are happening is all God. Okay, so pick up a rock because everyone struggles. I struggle some days. Everyone will have a struggle. We are human, and that's okay to struggle. We don't need to pretend like we're not happy, that we're happy, and we don't need to pretend like everything's okay. Some days it's okay to not be okay. So on those days where you're feeling a little bit down, just struggling a bit, a little bit unhappy, maybe the lockdown's getting to you, maybe you're having a birthday during the lockdown, all these difficult times, you can pick up that rock, read the memory, and thank God that he gave you that memory, and ask him to help you through that difficult time you may be feeling. It might be just the morning that you feel a bit difficult, and by the evening you feel great again. It might just be a phase. It might be a day or two. It doesn't matter how long it is, really. But you just pray to God and ask him to put some more happy memories in your life. Let you make more happy memories with your family, and not forget the difficult times, but help you through the difficult times. Okay, so this is just going to be to help to remind us about all the great work that God is doing in our lives, that he already has done and what he's still going to do. And collect your rocks, keep them safe, and when you're struggling, you can go back and read the date and the memory that you had, or the great thing that's happened. Again, the rocks that you're going to be praying, that can just be prayed. You can pray to God once you found that rock, and then you can put the rock back. You don't have to collect those rocks and put them in your house. But the pile of rocks that you're going to collect, that one you can stay in your house, or parents might want you to keep it outside. Speak to them and see what they say. I hope you have an amazing week further, and I will see you soon. Bye.